session number 1. Now, in this session, we're going to talk a little bit about the big picture. And the big picture is essentially, video ads, catalyst plus traffic trifecta. And, we made a cool little equation I'll show you in a bit, but basically those two added up equals profits if everything is set up right and you do it well. And that's what we're here to show you. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the key components of a solid offer, what it takes to, what kind of products are good to sell via the traffic trifecta system and the video ads catalyst, and the best way to go about doing those or selling those. Then we'll talk a little bit about what else can be sold. We'll dive into even service industries like HVAC and things like that, so you can see how this would work with clients and all that good stuff. And like we promised, we're gonna give you homework. So, let's go ahead and dive in. So the big picture is, like I said, traffic trifecta system plus video ads catalyst equals profits. Now, oh yeah, never mind. I thought a new slide was or a different slide, sorry. All right, so traffic trifecta system essentially consists of Google Hangouts, YouTube, and Google+. And once that traffic trifecta system has been put in place and you have that solid foundation, you can then add the video ads catalyst and really jumpstart the traffic to your channel and to your videos and really start seeing those results that we are all going for.
Yeah, and on this next slide, I just wanted to add a few points to this of why we have it set up the way that we do. So first, we have the Hangouts. Technically, Hangouts can be opened and operated through either YouTube or Google+. They just so happen to fit very well within our overall system, right? So the thing with Hangouts is that it's super trendy. Oh, right. Sorry. Do you want me to let you get to the next part, Justin?
Sorry, I accidentally clicked. Just keep going. You're good.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. Okay. All right. So the whole big thing about Hangouts, I'm sure as all of you have already seen, everybody's using Hangouts in one manner or another. It's not just the internet marketing world. Now it's getting even bigger than that. There's all sorts of celebrities using it. The Dalai Lama did a Hangout. The president, he did Hangouts when he was running for office. I mean, it's not just a fly-by-night, hey, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's an actual literal trend that people are using, and it's the perfect way to quickly create content, right? So that I would like to be like the main focus of your marketing drive is Hangouts. How can you quickly produce content? How can you comment about things that are happening either with yourself or other people? That's where you're going to get an amazing amount of content, which will feed into the other aspects, which next is YouTube, right?
Yeah, and like you were saying, Zane, real quick, with the content, like I'm sure everybody on here or everybody watching this has heard that content is king. And there's a reason for that. People want to digest content, especially when they're searching for it or when it's one of their interests. And that's what's so great about this whole system is you're able to place your content in front of the right people at the right times, right? And that's what really makes all of this so powerful.
Yeah, very well said. So, did you want to go through any more of the transitions? I only see the Google Plus and YouTube. Or the Hangout.
Oops. There we go. And Google Plus and cool. Whoops. Oh, so you have those already. Cool.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure it worked with the slides and everything. So just some points about Hangouts. They're easy to use. They're great for on-the-fly content, which will really help whether you're just creating content for yourself or you need to help your client generate content, because you can't really do a whole lot with YouTube unless you have some kind of content, or there's content to be leveraged. So starts with Hangouts, the whole process, and then it goes to YouTube. YouTube, that's your host where all of your videos live. Your channel's like your homepage of your YouTube channel. So people are going to see other random videos that will lead to your channel, which people will explore quite a bit of. It's set up like this because, well, it works, right? I mean, like you can see some of these statistics. A huge amount of people are watching YouTube, and it's because of how it's structured. There's no desire to go anywhere else, especially if you're very passionate about a topic and you want a lot of information about it. So when you combine the live aspect of Hangouts, being able to do content at a moment's notice, and then you have the largest video sharing site known to man to put it on and share it with, well, you get to Google Plus, and it's just a little bit of extra icing on the cake. It's the thing that gets the wheels moving. It gives you the ability to have private content just for you and a specific group of people through Google Plus. If there's anything I want to instill in all of you, it's that Google Plus is like, it's the thing that gets things moving. It doesn't have to be just a social media site where you share pictures and stuff. It's there, but there's so much more that it can do in the background that can make you a lot of money. All right. So as far as the more marketing parts of it, though, Google Plus, perfect for creating communities. Pages can act as its own presence. Pages like your own professional presence can create communities, event pages, join communities, join circles, all that other kind of stuff that a regular profile can do, so you can interact as a business, but in this social presence. Right? So there's the traffic trifecta. Those are the three things that we're going to be using to shape our presence online and be able to dominate in no matter what niche or industry. Anything else, Justin?
No, I think you about covered it. A little bit of this is review from now, just because we're cover the bases and everything. So we'll get to the good stuff shortly.
So here we go, live Hangouts on air. It all starts here. You can get as many people as you want in this. This is a screenshot. Actually, this is a picture that I took of our group. It's the YouTube channel 5 Stars of Video. That's actually, if you want to see what we're doing and how we're doing it, this is the channel that you should be checking out. We're going to be putting content on here. We're going to be using ads. We're going to be testing all sorts of different video marketing things. So if you want to see if we're doing what we say we are, just check out this channel. So easy to grab content. I talked a lot about that in the first slide. So on to the next one.
I
even told myself I wouldn't do this, and I did anyway.
Oh well. So one thing that I do want to mention that is just a tip for whenever you are making these Hangouts. And well, first things first, if you don't want to be on video, you don't have to be. You can easily put up slides, right? You don't have to have your face on. You could turn your camera off and just talk. There are lots of ways around being camera shy, so really don't worry about that. I know that's one thing that people do worry about, but I did. I mean, you can see what I look like. That's why I'm afraid to be on camera, but no. So I used to just throw slides up and just talk over them. You can very easily do that. Take whole pictures, whatever you'd like to do. So
very good point.
Yeah, but back to my actual point. One thing that Zane does really well on all of these Hangouts and pretty much every piece of content that is put on these channels is he really encourages people to subscribe and join the community. And that's huge. So, there's always a subscribe button right underneath these videos if somebody's not subscribed when they're watching them on YouTube, right? So just encourage, like Zane always says, a couple times throughout it, like, hey, be sure to subscribe to our channel because we have a bunch more awesome stuff coming your way. Things like that. Just calls to action subtly throughout the videos. It really helps out.
Yeah, very, very good point, because there's a lot of times where you can get away with having a call to action of, hey, subscribe or like or comment, and you're not asking people to buy something, but you're getting them to say yes, so that when it does come to buy something, they're more prone to.
Yeah, it's the micro commitments, they're called.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, micro commitments. That's why on webinars, a lot of times people always start off with give me a yes if you can hear me. Hey, are you guys ready to move on to the next slide? And people it gets them in the habit of saying yes, yes, yes. So
makes sense.
Yeah. Is everybody still with us? Do you follow? No. Go ahead and throw a yes in the chat box. All right, cool. Yeah, and this is actually a really good insider tip as far as creating content for your channel. If you have a product or service you're selling, all you have to do is get somebody like the product creator or a happy customer on a hangout with you and just interview them. That in itself is content that people will watch. Talk about the experience, how great it was for them, what the product is going to do. All those questions that people might have can be answered, and you get content just by jumping on a hangout with the product creator or a customer, something along those lines. So.
Exactly. Great tip. So we talked a lot about Hangouts, and now on to YouTube. Again, this is the main content platform. This is where all of anything that you do on a Hangout ends up. It becomes a regular YouTube video on your YouTube channel, and it's as long as however long the Hangout was. A lot of times it's longer content, right? Because what's interesting, and Justin, let me know if you agree, but you start saying, okay, well, this will be a Hangout, and it'll only be like 15 minutes, and then you go like an hour.
Oh yeah, all the time. It's just easy to, once you start going, you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And the first couple I did were definitely shorter because I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. I was, nervous, but once you get over that, and it happens pretty quickly. You can just go forever.
So, and that's the great thing, because when I first started marketing with YouTube, one of the toughest things was, content. It was always about content. And now we're at that point where Hangouts, as long as you have a topic and you're passionate about it, you can go for a lot longer than you may think. Or on the opposite side, like Justin had brought up earlier, if you just absolutely do not want to be in front of a camera, or you don't even want to put up slides, just go find somebody else. Like, interview somebody about their product and ask them questions like why they wanted to make the product and why will it help other people. They can talk for days about that kind of stuff, and you instantly get content.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Oh
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to go on to the point about the editor.
Yep, that's what I was going to bring up also. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So to that end, about that longer content, I've done more than my fair share of Hangouts, and you know that phrase, 15 minutes of fame? It's pretty accurate. If you've got a very engaging Hangout, then maybe you're pushing 18 minutes. But that's if you got somebody super engaging, or you have a target market that's just really into your content. But after about 18 minutes, usually most people, they look at the content and go, okay, I'll come back and review it. What I have found that makes people watch a lot more of that content is to give them a teaser or a trailer of that episode, which the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the screenshot that we have for this is the homepage, the YouTube channel, the main homepage channel of the 5 Stars of Video, and you can see the trailer video that we have. This screenshot is of somebody who has subscribed, so it's telling you what to watch next. But if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, that place where it shows Justin's head and it says what to watch next, if you're not subscribed, the trailer video will automatically play. And I think the trailer video that I've got, it just says they're coming. In fact, we still need to make a better trailer video that explains who we are and what we're all about. But the reason why you're seeing all this video content was because of one Hangout that we did now 2 weeks ago, and we've done another one. I actually have to catch up to cutting up the videos and then putting them into playlists and stuff. So this channel is less than 3 weeks old and already has what looks like a lot of content. So to an end user, you land here like, wow, there's a bunch of videos. This is really cool. These guys are really up to date, and I want to hear more about them, so I need to subscribe. Right? Subscriptions have just as much value as an email list. So
yeah, definitely.
There's that. Justin, did you want to talk about linking back to the site or something?
That, and I was just going to mention a big part of the reason that we did so well on the ASM promo that we showed everybody in the case study is because Zane took a single webinar, and we mentioned it before, but basically chopped it up, like he was just talking about, into multiple sections. He basically watched the thing and was like, that's a great point. That's going to really catch somebody's attention. So chopped that off into an individual video. Basically, like, think of it like a sports highlight reel, if you will.
Mhm.
You don't have to sit through all the boring stuff in the game because you can just see all the action and every touchdown or something along those lines. So kind of think
Yeah,
of
good
it
point.
how they take a single football game and chop it up into a bunch of little, not little football games, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, individual plays, right?
Yeah, basically. So it's essentially a play by play, and you can then put those plays into a playlist that basically guide the person who doesn't want to watch the entire webinar through the process of what the webinar teaches them, and then eventually to the end. So
Yeah. So to add one last point to that, by having that highlight, again, great point, Justin, because you have those highlights because then a lot of times, and again, I'm not a sports guy, but I've watched what sports guys do. And if they really like a particular play, then like I got to go see that game. I got to go back and review it. And that's the point of doing it like this with Hangouts, is that you chop them up not just to get the interest and excitement and the highlights, but also to pull people further down your content funnel, which builds more authority. You're just solidified more and more as the expert, the more content that they consume. So you just got to give them more of stuff that they haven't seen, because, like I said, they'll watch 18 minutes unless you re-engage them with something else. Make sense?
for sure, for sure. And then we're pretty much wrapping this slide up, but basically, um, like Zane had said a minute ago, you should always have links back to your money site, if you will. And up here, you're allowed to link back to your other social profiles. You should definitely link back to your Google Plus, Facebook. We'll get into all this in the Uber optimization section. But as you can see, we have links back to our website. And you can also link all your videos back to your website as well through annotations and through the descriptions. So the more links you have back to your money site, the more chance you have of somebody clicking one of those links and you making a sale. That
Yeah.
also benefits your site SEO wise, because you have all these extra links pointing from Google or from YouTube back to your site and things like that.
Yeah, and there is one other thing that, like, if you want to have like a group of people like we're working with, I would encourage. I just didn't do this because I didn't have the time, but now I see it. You have control of posting what are called featured channels, and those are channels that you choose. Like what you see right now is it says popular channels on YouTube. That's YouTube doing it themselves, but you have the ability to post a bunch of featured channels, and that little block of channels go above the popular video. So you can actually push all those popular videos down out of the eyesight of your viewers and fill it with either channels like other channels you decide to create or collaborators. So
Yeah,
just
so
want to
we
throw that
actually
in.
need to do that through
Caught
all our
my eye.
channels up there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as a quick learning experience for all of you that are watching, what we would do is we would put Zane's YouTube channel, Justin's YouTube channel, Lem's YouTube channel, and Bill's YouTube channel, and then anything else that we can think of, any projects that we could be working on, we would feature those channels as well. And I'm sure I know what you're all thinking. Yes, eventually it could come to the point where so many people visit the channel page that we could actually rent out that space.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Well, and that's huge as well. It's like selling ad space on a
Right?
blog.
Exactly.
So
So
once you have the
there's that.
audience, you can monetize it basically.
Hmm.
So cool, cool.
So next slide then.
Yep.
All right. So the third and final part of this traffic trifecta, I kind of joke a little bit about this, that YouTube and Hangouts are such an eye catcher that Google Plus is just kind of along for the ride. But I also believe that it's really proven itself as a system to really help you stand out as an authority. Namely is an administrative angle. It gives you the ability, Google Plus, to show people specific content like privately. It gives you your own little members area that if you do it the right way with Google Plus, You can say only these people can see this content, and yes, even only these specific people can participate live in a Hangout, right? That's the kind of stuff that Google Plus can do for us. In addition, as you can see, it also works as a pretty handy social media site with hundreds of millions of people clamoring around it. All right, so you can see the perspective of this. We want to focus on Hangouts and YouTube, and Google Plus is just a great additional tool. But anything we do on Google Plus, I want to encourage that on a social angle, do it on everywhere else. Like if you're going to do it on anything social on Google Plus, also do it on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. I mean, social media has never been just one site. But you do need to understand that Google Plus can do just a little bit more than the average social site, and we'll get into more of that later. Sound good?
Cool. And one thing that's right in the middle that I want to point out real quick is this event page right here. This one was an event page, right? So basically, if somebody sees their event page on here and they say, yes, I'm going to go, or I want to go, it will automatically add that to their Google Calendar. And I don't know about everybody else, but I have an Android, and I have Google Calendar on my phone. And when something's coming up, if I've RSVP'd to it via Google Plus, it will give me a reminder as well. So I mean, that's pretty powerful right there.
It's like a mini registration page for the Google Plusers out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought it was awesome how it links up with my calendar. The first time I saw that, I was like, who's adding things to my calendar?
I'll also tell you something that's pretty cool, and it's the reason why you see the 5 stars event page, right? Like when I created the event page, we didn't have an audience. We hadn't mailed to anybody there. I created it because I know that things that you do on Google Plus have the potential to show up in the search results. So that was the main reason. But then I learned that if you create an event and you get a bunch of people who say, yes, I want to be a part of it, then when you want to do the event again, you can duplicate it and it'll automatically add all those people that were in the previous event to the new event. It'll, Justin, what did you call it? Automated retargeting or something?
Mini retargeting list, yeah.
There we go, yeah. It's like a mini retargeting list within Google Plus, right? So you know that the people who were there last time, they would be interested in something similar, only updated. Boom, they already opted in, and then you just kind of bring them into the next one. So that's a nifty little ninja trick that I learned on a simple feature of just simply duplicating the live event, making your life easier, but also you get a little, mini retargeting thing. Hooray, Google Plus, right?
Sweet. All right. So yeah, that's basically the whole traffic trifecta system. And like I said, there's going to be some homework this week. We're going to be setting these up, getting all of these web properties in place. And then a little bit later in, I think it was module 3, I believe, we'll be covering Uber optimization. That's where you, all that SEO stuff, if you will. So cool. Now, then comes the video ads catalyst. So once you have a solid foundation to build upon, which is the traffic trifecta, you have all those things in place and place for people to go and interact with your content, see what you're all about, then you can, open up the traffic geyser. And we'll get into this in a little bit, but first you're going to need to put all of those pieces into place, like I was saying. But as you can see, the traffic is extremely cheap. You guys saw this screenshot on the live call and in the case study as well. But you can see we're getting targeted traffic for 2 cents a view, 3 cents a view, and even like 32 cents a click back to our website. So pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can also see why we have it like this. You focus on those first 3 pieces, and then it makes it much easier to think of creative things for advertisements, and also get that awesome price break, if you will, right? Like
for sure.
Cheap traffic. There we go. Thanks.
Yeah, it's similar to Facebook, where if you keep the traffic inside, it's cheaper. So that's why I always I was always, when I first started doing this, I was wondering, why is it, I see people getting dirt cheap ads, and I don't understand why. I was running traffic outside. I was like, man, mine are like 4 times the cost. But if you do this, drive traffic back to your YouTube and Google Plus pages, it's a lot cheaper. So
Hmm.
good to know. All right. Now we'll talk a little bit about the key components of a solid offer. So we understand the traffic trifecta system, and that all needs to be in place. That's basically our foundation. But without an offer, we really don't have, I don't know, a purpose, if you will. So this,
Well, I
oh yeah, sorry.
oh no, sorry. I was just gonna say like a lot of people will do this to themselves accidentally. Is that they'll get a little bit of success on YouTube, or they have like a really good idea and they have a lot of interest, but they have a hard time connecting like, okay, so how do I make money with this? And this is one of the things that I think that definitely separated us from like just really passionate guys who want to make awesome content. Uh, from that to, okay, we want to make awesome content, but we also want to get paid, right? So uh, even if you, it's more difficult to go back and say, how can I make money? It's much easier to look at it going forward and say, okay, I want to make some money and I've got some ideas, or I know I can get some ideas. How do I make sure I do this right? And it's always with starting with finding some kind of offer. How are you going to get paid so that it makes all the work worth it?
Yeah, you have to be able to monetize what you're doing. Otherwise, it's just a hobby, really. And there's honestly nothing wrong with asking for compensation in some form if you're providing value to people. And the more value you provide to somebody, the more willing they will be to provide you with something, which would be money or compensation. So just go ahead and kind of go, like, when you go into this, keep that in mind, that you're going to be monetizing this, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about it. I know some people have a problem with charging for things online. I don't know why. Or charging for services, charging for value. But
Yeah, well, they just want to make sure they're offering something good, right? Which
yeah, yeah.
leads us to what we're talking about right now. What are we offering? Like how what angle do you want to approach the market with?
Yeah, so there's a couple different options. What we did in the case study that you saw was an affiliate product, and most of you are probably familiar with that. But essentially, what an affiliate product is, or when we're doing affiliate promotion, a product creator has a product, and we promote it via the traffic trifecta and the video traffic geyser, or an email list, or however you want to do it. You promote it, and every sale that you make is, or every person you send to the sales page is essentially cookied. And whenever that person that is cookied buys, you get commission on that, right? And so that's exactly how that works. I'm sure, like I said, most people are familiar, but just a quick run through in case. You can also promote your own product or a client's product. That could be something like, I don't know, like if if you offer video marketing services, or say you have your own digital product. Um, you can also promote a service, something like, gutter cleaning, or a roto rooter, or a plumber, or any type of service, really. Then, like, this should kind of go without saying, a physical product. I'm sure, I believe I showed the Bowflex tread climber example. And I mean, Bowflex is doing this. I've seen numerous other companies doing things like this as well, promoting an actual product, that, a physical product. So that's more kind of like the TV commercial route, if you will.
Yeah, all these, and looking at it from this way, we can also look at it at backwards too. We can say, okay, so let's say a client comes to us and say, this is the product. What can you do? You can apply everything we're teaching to the opposite direction. Okay, this is the product. How can we implement YouTube, Hangouts, and Google Plus with this
Mm,
product, right? So it can work backwards and forwards.
cool. All right. So let's say so basically we're just going to dive into a little bit more into what each of these products would be like, or each of those categories of products would be like. So if you're going to be going the affiliate product route, obviously, first things first, you're going to need to find a solid product. Um, There's lots of different places to find those. Most of the time they're digital. Every once in a while it is a physical product, but for our what we just did was a digital product. And you can find these sorts of products on JVZoo, ClickBank, Warrior Plus, Zaxa. There's a lot of different affiliate platforms. I believe Commission Junction might be one as well. That might be CPA though. But there.
Commission Junction is Commission Junction is one of the two major physical product like JVZoo or Warrior Plus. Commission Junction and LinkShare are that for physical products, like the really big companies that don't want to be with Amazon, like Overstock.com and Lamps.com, those kinds of things. Like those are the huge link houses, whatever. Like again, it's equivalent to saying Warrior Plus and JVZoo for information products. Commission Junction and LinkShare, it's the same world, only with physical products and really big brands that everybody knows. Does that make sense?
Cool. Yeah, I knew I'd. I think I just checked it out.
And on that, I would actually like to find out. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
I wanted to do a little interaction. For those of you who are listening now, can you give me a sign, like if you think that you do more information-based products, 1, and if you think you do more physical products, 2? Just out of curiosity.
Or services, 3.
Or services, 3. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, or 3.
2, 3.
This would be interesting, yeah.
So some services.
Because as we were talking about this, we wanted to give everybody a scenario of what they could see themselves doing in regards to traffic trifecta, right? So 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 3, 2. Okay, so we've got a lot of mix. This is good. This is really good because you'll be able to see how these different scenarios cross over and how you could actually probably duplicate across different different avenues, I guess.
Yeah.
Always to make money, right?
Right. Cool. All right. So one thing, back to the affiliate thing real quick. One thing, if you are promoting an affiliate product and it's not your own product, there's probably going to be some competition, right? And adding a bonus will not hurt. Not to mention everybody else probably has one. So if you, I'm sure, I don't know, I've ranked videos before for affiliate promotions and was able to make a few sales, but the first page is filled with review sites and videos, and everybody on there says like plus awesome bonus. Now it really helps to be able to get your ad in front of those because we're paying for it. But you're definitely going to need some kind of bonus or some extra incentive if there are other people promoting this as well. So
yeah. And actually, we did talk a little bit about this. Oh wait, no, you've already got that on the next bullet point. Haha. There we go. Yeah. Well, asking the product creator for a bonus or coupon. This actually came about myself personally. Someone said, "Oh, is there a bonus with this?" And I went, "Oh, okay. Well, actually, I'm working on this thing. Cool. Now this is a bonus." So just asking. A lot of times, either they have one, or they might go, "That's actually a pretty good idea. I'll put together a bonus and give it to you." So asking for it, like you'd be surprised by how many times you may have missed out on just quickly grabbing a bonus just by asking.
Yeah, well, and these affiliates, like joint venture partners or the product creators, they want to sell more of their products. If you're going to help them sell more products, they're going to be willing to work with you. You can probably, get them on a call, interview them, like we were saying earlier. You can interview the product creator, just get a little bit of, a taste of what's inside the course. That helps right there a lot. You can also, just get in contact with them and ask, hey, do you have any bonus ideas? And, a lot of times they will be like, oh, I actually have a bonus here. So there's lots of ways.
Idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And like what Zane and I did is we teamed up with Jason Fladlin on this last promotion, and we're able to use his bonuses and, then give him a cut instead. So we basically, paid him for his bonuses, if you will, which, worked out really well. We didn't have to come up with anything extra. We just drove the traffic and got paid.
And that, I mean, that is one of the nicer things about it
Yeah.
is the simple fact that we had something that that he could use was more exposure on the YouTube side.
hmm hmm So, all right, let's jump on over to products or services. So, if you're trying to sell a product or a service using this method, it really helps if it solves a problem. And, I'm sure you've all heard one problem, one solution. That's just a good way to structure your content, kind of. So, focus on one thing at a time and, lead up to the sale. But if you solve a problem or if the product or service solves a problem or, gives some major benefit even, then your content can really be about that because people are actively searching for solutions to problems. A lot of times when somebody has a problem, they jump on the internet and search, you know, for instance, how do I repair my heater or something along those lines. So if your content can address the problem and show them how to fix it, that's even better. And obviously, it would lead up to your product or service because it would be related. Also, think about what some of the major objections to buying would be. You can make short videos about that. You know, what do you bring to the table or your unique selling position? Just what makes your product or service different than the competition's. And if you know that, you can always point that out and do some pain point research and figure out what are other people that or other product creators or other people that offer this service. What are people that got this service complaining about, or it was good except for. So you can go do some reviews and figure out what those are, and kind of position yours as, hey, we're better because we do it this way, and you can build that into your content as well.
Yeah, and one thing that you're also doing that not a lot of people pay attention to, but when you're saying like I am specifically different this way, you're also saying and everybody else is not like this. I am unique, and so you're also eliminating your competition at the same time by uh, by detailing what's so unique about you, and it makes it very very compelling to say yes, I need to know more.
Definitely, definitely. So that works for this product or service works for both physical products and your digital products or even services. Like I mentioned, it's all kind of we can kind of sell those the same way, if you will. All right, now the criteria for a good product. Now it really helps if it's a high ticket item or a service because sometimes there's this fine tuning that you have to do. Not even sometimes you do. It's kind of it can be a lot of work getting all of this or turning all of this into a well-oiled machine. So it really helps if you have a high ticket item. That way, when you sell one of them, we instantly had an ROI in our case study as soon as we sold just one product. So,
Yeah,
and we over broke even. So that was great. If you can do something like that, then everything else, above and beyond is way, way better. And that just helps. It really helps with the motivation as well.
I
So
agree.
yeah,
Well,
you
and
know,
just real quick, I mean, like you said, like the margins on it for us were such that we could make a deal with somebody else, and our entire ad spend was covered with one sale. Like that's you can't get a better position, than that. In fact, we really need to be on top of more of those, right, Justin?
right? Yeah, for sure, for sure. So if you are going with a low ticket item as well, and you don't have a high ticket item, or maybe your high ticket item is not the best to promote via this method, and you have a few low ticket items that you can then upsell. So along the lines of like the Bowflex thing, if they had a cheap exercise plan, where you go walk up and down stairs all day, but their upsell is the Bowflex tread climber, then maybe they're just trying to sell the exercise plan first, and then from there the upsell comes in, which is still part of this whole product funnel, but it's a lower ticket item with a higher end goal in mind. So if you don't have a high ticket item right off the bat, just find somebody else's service you can offer and get a referral from, a white label service, I don't know, something like that, and just go with the upsells. So just keep that in mind. We're trying to get the most out of our, everybody that comes through this funnel.
And also, if you're looking for ways to get higher ticket stuff from your lower ticket item, a lot of the questions that will come up from you as you sell the lower ticket item, those are perfect seeds to plant in your own mind of, okay, how can I make something more high ticket item or find something like it? A lot of times I always forget that I don't have to be the person to make it. I can just go find somebody who makes it, because to the customer's point of view, they don't really care where they go. They just need to find a solution. So it doesn't have to be you making a higher end product. You can find one and attach yourself to it, and even figure out deals from there. So
Cool.
that.
Good point. Nice. Oops, I skipped that point. Oh well. So basically, the criteria for a good product, it really, really is important that the product provides value to your customer. You need to keep in mind that these platforms that we're using are social platforms, and people can say what they want. So if if you're selling hundreds of some product and it's a piece of junk, and as soon as people start to use this, they're like, oh man, this is terrible. They're going to jump back to where they found it and let you and everybody else know. And that goes the other way as well. If you have a really solid product or offer
Yep.
that's really providing value to people, people are getting great results, people will jump in. And, as you noticed in the case study, people were chiming in being like, I just bought, I'm excited, I can't wait to get into this. And, you know, we'll get some great results from these people once they come in there. Hopefully they come back and leave a positive review, which is then social proof. Social proof goes a very long way.
Yeah. In fact, when I had a chat with Jason about this, and I was like, you know what? I'm interested in seeing what happens when someone writes, is this a scam? And that started the conversation going. And he said, I would much rather have somebody go, wait, is this too good to be true? Or something like that, because then you can actually engage in the conversation. Like if you can have those conversations, like there's some conversations you obviously don't want, but when the good conversations naturally pop up, that's instant social proof right there on the video. So again, it's very important that customers see value so that they can come back and talk about it, so that everybody who's brand new sees a huge amount of social proof around it. Extremely helpful. And to Justin's next point, looking at conversion rates will help you determine how socially popular a product is. Because if there's high conversion and low refund rates, obviously you have a good product because no one wants to refund it.
Yeah, definitely. And it really helps to know your conversion rates when going into selling a product, especially if it's a an affiliate product. Then you know that for however many people you send to that sales page, you're going to be technically making that many sales as long as they're qualified. And the awesome thing about this system is that the leads that you are going to be getting are qualified because of the way that we set up the ads, which we'll get more into that once the foundation's laid and we jump into Video Ads Catalyst. But those ads are only being ran to extremely targeted people, or people that have already, been interested or are searching for your keyword. So that's why paid traffic is so great. Um, let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything real quick. Oh yeah, another awesome thing is if it's your own product and you have access to the thank you page, or some page after somebody purchases, then you can actually set up conversion tracking through AdWords, and they'll tell you, this particular ad resulted in this many people buying, and you can get really dialed in with your analytics and really tweak your ad for maximum conversions.
Yeah, and real quick, as a one for yes, two for no, how many of you know, if you have a website, how much traffic is going to that website every month?
Yeah, because always, we are selling things online, so there's pretty much always going to be a, an online sales page, or at least something that leads up to collecting the contact info and setting that meeting at least.
Right. Of those of you who responded, it's yeah, a lot of you. Yes, you know how much traffic, because I think it's a natural curiosity. Like if you have a website, you want to know how many people are visiting. So the same thing needs to be said for whatever offer that you make, because if you have an affiliate offer or whatever your product is, you know that if you have a certain amount of people going to your website, some of those people will buy whatever it is that you recommend. So knowing what your own amount of traffic is on your website, plus knowing what how products are currently selling, is what you really need to think about to actually start making plans that you can say, hey, I can make a consistent income based on these factors, right?
Yeah, and that's what we'll dive into right about now. All right, so here's a little quick example of why conversions are important. So, or how knowing what your conversion rate is can really help you go in with a very solid game plan before you even lay all the foundation and think that this is a solid product. So this is it helps. All right, so this is a screenshot from JVZoo, and here's the number of products sold. This is top sellers on JVZoo. So doesn't really matter what the product is. You can search by keyword and figure out which product you want to promote. Maybe you have one in mind, but as long as it's listed on one of these affiliate platforms, you can know the conversion rate. So right here, this Video Maker FX, it converts at 6.67%, and EPC is an earnings per click. So for every click or visitor that you send to the site, you can expect to get basically $3.25. But obviously you have to send enough so that there's at least one conversion in order for you to get those EPCs. Then you can see the average price, and that's usually what it's selling for. It's probably a little higher because I'm sure they started this off lower, but we'll just take that average price into consideration now. But you can see what it's actually selling for at the current time. And then you've got your commission rate, right? So we're getting 60% of $50 essentially. And we know that it converts at 6.67%. So that being said, at a 6.67 conversion rate, that basically means that 6 out of every 10 are going to buy, or sorry, 6 out of every 100 are going to buy. I wish 6 out of every 10 would buy. So 6 out of every 100 people that you can send to the sales page are going to buy statistically. Now, that's not always going to be true if you've got your targeting completely wrong, but as long as you have your targeting set up, you can pretty much rely on those statistics. Now, 60% commission on a $48 product is going to be $24 per sale. Everybody following so far? Makes sense? Cool, cool. All right. So basically, if we send 100 people to the sales page at, what was it, $24 per sale, you can expect $144 in commissions, because for every 100 people, we are going to make 6 sales. 6 times 24, 144. So in our earlier example, you saw we were able to get 32 cents per click, right? So at 32 cents per click, for every 100 clicks or 100 people that we send to the sales page, we're basically spending $32. So essentially, we make $112 in profit because our ad spend was $32 to send those 100 people and 32 cents a click, and we made $144. So $112 profit. So you can kind of see how how that would be if you were at 32 cents a click. What's up, Zane?
Oh, yeah, just real quick, I also wanted to just point out here that the example that we're using, if there are products that have been around for a while, this is also why we encourage everybody to do their best to aim for evergreen products, because the longer the product is out, it's sort of like the conversion rate, 6.67%. That's solid, right? It's not just a 1 week of a rush of a sale kind of thing, and you have overinflated um, conversions, right? Something like this video effects creator, it did really well. And he's like, yeah, let's just keep it rolling. Again, like the longer the time that you have, the more accurate I believe those EPCs are. So just calling back again to that whole concept, high value products, high profit products, those are things that are more inclined to be around longer and provide more consistent income.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, one thing that I completely forgot to put in this slide, that's just the front end product, right? This
Mm-hmm.
little funnel
Yeah.
right here, I don't know how I forgot about this, but this means that there's more than one product in the funnel. So they have a few upsells in there as well. And you can see that the conversion rate of the entire sales funnel is 16.62%, right? So, and that includes all the upsells and everything. But an EPC for the entire sales funnel is actually $5.68. So you can know that basically of those people, I believe I'm saying this right, of the people that buy, 16% of those, or 16.62%, are going to buy other products in the funnel, and it's going to increase your EPCs. So you're basically going to get more out of it than just the front end sale, provided they have a solid funnel set up. So it's definitely
Yeah.
something to keep
It
in mind.
changes the dynamic of the next slide, right?
Yeah, for real. But I don't like to count on those when I'm figuring these things out. So that's just, oops, sorry, that's just kind of some bonus, because you can't count on everybody buying it. It really does depend. But those are the statistics, so you kind of can, I guess. Um,
Well,
but
right. I think it'll help. It helps reduce the amount of risk, right? There's no such thing as risk-free, but there is such thing as wise risk mitigation. So
yeah, definitely.
you can
So
use that in your own plan of how you want to move forward with your
yeah.
business.
Well, and that basically goes back to the point that I was talking about. If you are going to be selling a low ticket item, or a lower ticket item, we're talking like this would even be almost a low ticket item, maybe mid, but you're not getting a ton on the front end, but there are all those upsells in there that will help maximize your profit. So yeah, and if something has been around for quite a while, like since May, you're definitely going to want to throw some bonuses in there because a lot of people have already seen it. As you can see, over 26,500 people have bought this thing. So you're going to want to stand out. You're probably going to need to add some pretty solid bonuses because a lot of people in the marketplace already have this. So I definitely, while we use this for an example, probably not the best to run traffic to because it has sold so many. All right, jump back to okay. Um, so then basically, so we decided, or we found out exactly what our profit was going to be based on those conversions at 32 cents a click, right? That's just an example, but so it totally depends on your market. Your traffic might be more expensive. It might even be cheaper. But essentially, if we're making $144 commission for every 100 people that we send to that sales page, we can know that we're going to break even if we're paying $1.44 per click. So when it comes time to start running your ads, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're not bidding more than $1.44 per click because you're probably going to lose money. So that's why knowing your conversion rate before going into everything can really help you plan everything out. It just helps you know what's the maximum cost per click that I can spend to get people to my sales page.
Right, and this was my point in earlier when you said, well, you can see the whole funnel's cost per click or earnings per click, and it's higher. So if you were to visualize with me a risk meter, right? This slide right here would be the maximum of the green zone. Like you're still good, you can break even, but if you want to go into the yellow zone and go a little bit riskier, you know that there is data supporting that if you have the right traffic, you can actually earn more And even when you're breaking even, again, on this slide, you could actually be making a little bit more. And, again, as I see it, as far as like the area of risk, this is as far as we would recommend to go and still stay safe and be able to, leverage an ever-growing list.
Yeah,
But when you
definitely.
look at the whole funnel, right, there's more money on the table, which is again why we're urging you to go through and do some research and just think about your process, because you can't escape it. You got to put the work in. So now it's about deciding how much money you want to make when you put the work in, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, all right. But yeah, that's the maximum. Tom was asking, is EPC for AdWords? What EPC is, Tom, is earnings per click. And that is basically saying that, okay, so we know it converts at 6%. So if you send enough traffic, so however many clicks that would take, 6%. So if you sent uh, 10 clicks, you'd make one sale or something. No, that's
Yeah.
10%. So
You,
you'd have to
you,
send however many clicks that would be, you would have to send in order to make a sale. So you have to, I can't do math off the top of my head, sorry. um, but you'd have to send X amount of clicks before you make one sale. And then they take the total dollar amount that you make or of that sale and then divide it by the number of clicks that was sent. And that gives you your earnings per click. So if you only send $3, or sorry, one click, you're in the EPCs of $3, you're not going to make $3 unless that one person buys and you're lucky. But that's basically the total dollar amount divided by number of clicks is the
yeah. So
EPC.
so to look at it in relation to AdWords, like EPC is the amount of money that you could make. And the CPC, which is cost per click, that's how much it's going to cost you, right? So if your cost per click is, well, 32 cents, like the example that we're using, and what we're going to earn is closer to like $3 per click, it's an easy crossover. You're just like, oh, okay, perfect. Like I know what I need to aim for. I need to aim for the content that leads people to the sales page and go, yes, 6% of the time or more is how often I'm going to buy. Then you can just start, like what we're talking about is just like being able to set up these little systems that constantly drive the right kind of targeted traffic to each sales page over and over again, and we're just trading dollars for dollars, right?
Yeah.
That's a really zoomed out version of what we're talking about, but does that answer your question, Tom? Oh, he says opposed to video ads click. Video ads click, like
Okay.
I said, CPC, cost per click. CPV is cost per view, but it's the same thing. I'm clicking on an ad, and now I'm watching your video. Cost per view, cost per click, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Well, not everybody that views your video is going to click. So watch this. Sorry, I'm going to jump back a few slides here
Yeah.
to boom, boom, boom. Oh man, a lot of slides. This will make sense real quick. Okay, right here. So you can see that my average cost per view was 6 cents, right? But
Right.
my cost per click was 32 cents. And the way that we did that was we got our total cost, divided by the clicks, or the other way around, whatever. Um, so we basically know that for $75.07, we got 203 clicks. That was a click through rate of 1.85% also. So,
Okay.
it depends on your click through rate, right? So your click through rate, if it's, like I said, 1.85%, then you know that almost 2% of everybody that views your video is going to click through. And with a cost per view of 6 cents and that many clicks and our total cost being that, we can deduct that we've got a 32-cent cost per click.
See, and that's why Justin's here.
Okay. But
Very,
yeah,
very well said. That is important to distinguish,
yeah,
like
and
cost per
we'll
view versus cost per
definitely.
click.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll definitely dive into that in the AdWords module, and we'll talk about reporting and your analytics and how to figure all this stuff out. You can actually get all kinds of different columns in AdWords and really go through and see how everything's going. So, all right.
And this is also why, like, it's funny because I was asked, like, is there anybody who doesn't charge an arm and a leg for AdWords? And I'm like, no, you like they earn their salt for sure. They dig through a lot of random stuff and figure out what the most important of that is.
Hmm.
So it can actually mean something. So like if someone says if it feels like it's a high number, it's a natural number because the people who see the other side of it, right? They see a really good pay-per-click campaign, then they look at the person who set it up as a genius, right? So just think
Yeah,
about it. Like if that person actually did follow through and you were making a ton of money, you wouldn't care how much money that person charged you, right? So take the good with the bad on that. But if you want to be this person, pay attention because we're going to show you how and why it's important.
yeah, definitely. And then Valentino was actually asking a good question real quick. How can you determine conversion rates and all that with a brand new product that doesn't have data? Well, if it's an online product, you can always just run some traffic directly to the sales page and kind of see how it's going to convert. You can do things like solo ads, ad swaps. Um, talk to a couple affiliates, maybe try and get them to mail to it. Uh, but really, you're going to have to, I don't know, or just start running traffic at it, and you will find out eventually.
Well, yeah, well, here's also something like if it's a brand new launch, I would say that if it's brand new, then see who the person is. Like every JV Zoo, like we gave you that example of checking conversion rate and stuff like that. Like you can look at the funnel and you can also look at the person and you can see previous products that they made. And I look for signs like they've made multiple products because that also means that they've launched a product, they've made money, or they feel like they could do it again, and they've done it multiple times. Like if it's brand new, they've never done a product, it's totally unknown. I'd steer away from those people in the beginning because there's just so many offers. There's tons of people who when they say yes, you can convert at this percentage, I believe it because I know the person's well known. So I look for more products, more of the same products. It means that they're an expert. They understand what kind of situations that their customer is going to get, and probably have a good like support desk. I know a lot of people personally, so I don't really suffer from that. But if you're brand new, those are the things you want to look for. Click on their profile, see what other products that they have, and get a feel for their other products, and then you'll understand roughly about what kind of conversion rate you can expect, and then promote accordingly.
Cool, cool. All right. Valentino says, awesome answer. Cool, cool. Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
if it is your own product and you don't know, you're just gonna have to run some traffic at it and see what happens. Um, you
Yeah.
know.
Good thing you can buy it for really cheap.
Yeah. Right. Right. Cool. Now, so we were talking about what makes a good product. Now we
Mhm.
dive a little bit into why did we choose the Amazing Selling Machine, or why did we choose ASM to promote? And there were a couple of reasons for that. One of them was that this is a high ticket item. Uh, the commission is, almost a $4,000 product, depending on which payment plan was chosen, and they're given 50% commission, which was about $1,750 per sale. Now, we didn't even go into this whole promo thinking we were going to spend $1,750. So it would have, one sale, like we mentioned earlier, one sale paid for our ad spend. And we were in the green there. So, whoa, loud car just rolled by. Sorry.
Oh,
All right.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, jeez, I did. All right. Another reason we chose ASM because there's a lot of interest, a lot of pre-launch buzz. They didn't actually build it up as much this time, but in the past, one of the, like what Zane had said, we looked at how these things have gone in the past, how these product creators done, and they've actually launched ASM in the past. We knew that they were very good at generating a lot of buzz, and when the gates open, people were actively searching for this product, a just like a lot of products out there that these product creators build a lot of launch buzz, a ton of people are mailing, and a lot of people that are willing to buy these products, sometimes they're already sold, a lot of times they are already sold on the product, they're just looking for
Yeah.
a good bonus. So if you can put together a solid bonus and get your ad in front of them and have your or your naturally ranking video that you've optimized, chopped up, whatever. Um, if you can get that seen first and you have a good bonus, you have a really good chance of these people that are already sold on the product from all this buzz that's been generated from other people that did the work for you. And all you've done is just kind of pop in front of them, be like, check this out before you go in. Um, you know, it's like
Yeah.
scalpers when you're trying to buy tickets at the door. So,
Yeah, no, that's that's a really good analogy because that's kind of how I felt. Like when I first heard about interviewing somebody, just interviewing them in general, like the first thing I heard is that people hate doing that and they hate like because everybody understands like okay, I'm going to do an interview with somebody and I'm going to have this thing that I can sell and it doesn't really help the person being interviewed unless you interview them specifically about their product. And I did that so that I could be the authority because I'm like, no, I'm here with them. I'm speaking to them. I am the authority on this topic as far as this thing goes. So if you search for the product name, which is exactly what happens, you see an interview with me and the dude. So it's like, yeah, if you click my link, you know you're going to get the bonus and you're going to get the legit product. Like that was my huge major motivation for interviewing anybody. I didn't give a crap about what they influenced in the market or anything like that. I just wanted to know what everyone else was thinking. What's the deal with this product? Give me the highlights. And I always got sales from that. Surprise, right?
right. Cool. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, another reason we chose ASM, like we mentioned a little earlier, social proof goes a really long way. This was not a piece of crap product. It's a solid product, and a lot of people that have used this system have achieved great results. And as long as they took action and follow the system, they you know they were happy with what happened and they talk about it, so there is a lot of social proof. A good part of their promotion actually is testimonials, interviews, like we were talking about. You interview somebody that has had a success story, and right there is social proof. Other people can see that a real person has achieved success with this and they can relate, which makes them much more comfortable with buying. It breaks down all those barriers, especially with digital products or high ticket items. If you can see other real people giving unsolicited testimonials, or even if they are solicited and it's an interview, they like, people like to brag about their success. So that can go a very far way, and that was one of the things that helped make this a success.
Yeah.
On Okay, sorry.
Real quick, well, I did a couple of I didn't do any interviews with success stories this time around, but last year I did, and so I took those same videos like after they were a hangout, they became a video, and then I used YouTube Live and rebroadcast those interviews in real time. Like, hey, here's an update. They made a bunch of money there, and now they made a bunch more. So like the content that I just recycled from the year before was relevant because there was already an update about it. So when I rebroadcast it live, it was like, hey, remember this? This is relevant right now. Totally got away with using absolutely recycled content.
Nice. um, Also, we chose ASM because okay, there wasn't low competition because a lot of people promote this product. Like we mentioned in the case study, it was actually a pretty crowded market, but there was extremely low competition across the Traffic Trifecta platform, which is YouTube, the Hangouts, and that is kind of Hangouts, but or sorry, YouTube, but because it's ended up placed on YouTube, but YouTube, Google Plus, there was not much of an ASM presence there, so we were easily able to dominate, especially when we turned on the ads and showed everybody, hey, our content's out here, even if you're not searching for it. We know you're interested. Check it out.
Yeah. No,
Um,
that's what I truly believe. That's why I said we should call it the YouTube ads catalyst because that's what it felt like. It was like, okay, this is already good, but we tripled our sales because of the ads.
yeah, definitely. So, all right. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what else can be sold. Now, the possibilities really are endless here. You just have to kind of get a little creative and figure out the best way to pitch your particular product or service or whatever you're trying to sell. And we're just going to kind of run through a few different ideas and, hopefully get your wheels turning with what's possible and how this could work in your business. All right. So we mentioned physical products. Now, oh yeah, go ahead, Zane.
Oh no, I was just going over to the other computer to look at
Oh,
the.
cool.
Sorry.
No worries. All right. So we mentioned physical products. You can use this to sell physical products, and a few different content generation ideas could be something like an unboxing video. We all know those are pretty popular, especially if you look at like iPhone 6 unboxing. A lot of people that want these products that don't have them are going to look and see what's the experience like of unboxing this, and it's almost like they've got it themselves so that they can see themselves opening it because it's like a first person view, and they can imagine themselves buying this product. And so that's an extremely effective type of content to put on a channel if you're trying to sell physical products. You can also put on customer testimonials and reviews. Somebody that bought the product and it's worked great for them, and it solved X, Y, and Z problems. A lot of times, say you're selling products on Amazon, people can actually put video reviews there. You can snag those and put those on your
Yeah.
channel.
One thing to point out real quick, the unboxing videos, they are so effective to the end user as far as like, okay, someone else has opened it up. Now I know exactly what's inside, and like that's what drives them to buy. It is so effective that there are YouTube channels that make six figures on the ads that those videos generate alone. That's, again, it goes kind of full circle. The concept is so effective that the advertisers are willing to pump out so much money that entire YouTube channels can be supported and do very well just on the demand of that topic alone. All right, so that's how effective unboxing videos are.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. So let's see. Then along the lines of unboxing videos, you can get other vloggers or video bloggers to review these. My uncle, or to review your product, sorry. My uncle actually runs a site called Metagamers on YouTube, and he's got, I don't know, a ton of subscribers. And basically, product companies will send him, he's like the Apple expert or whatever. So Apple or Spec or whatever will send him their accessories, and he just gives them a quick review on their channel. And because of his channel, he's actually got to go on local news in his area, talk about upcoming product launches for the Apple iPhone 6, all that good stuff. But if you have, say, an iPhone case, you can send it to those people and gain extra traction, and then you can actually take all of those videos, those review videos, once again, and stitch them together into a playlist and put those on your channel as well. That'll
Yeah,
also get you extra traffic back to your channel and ultimately help you sell more products as well.
that's good.
Yeah. So then there's video highlighting of your key features, or video highlights of your key features or your unique selling point. So like whatever makes your product unique, you can just do a quick product review about that, point out those features. You can also,
I want to add to that real quick as far as like finding a really good example. They're one of the most often used examples that YouTube used to have. It's called Aura Brush. Go search Aura Brush
yep,
and look at their YouTube channel. They made millions of dollars off of that channel specifically. Like I mean, it was an intentional campaign to drive traffic to the YouTube channel and sell products from there. So take a look at that and see how just a very boring idea, got sexied up and put on YouTube and made a ton of money, right?
yeah. When
I
they
mean, it's
put
like
this whole system into place, you know, long
yeah,
ago, a big company. So I mean, this stuff works, right?
yeah,
Um,
and to that end, the guy who came up with the idea, who marketed it, they're the ones that came out. I'm sure you've seen it around. It's called Poopery. right? If you haven't seen
Hmm.
that YouTube commercial, like the guys who did Aura Brush went on and like they're their own like advertising celebrity now, because now this is like two like absolute home runs from using all sorts of satire and obvious like embedding. Like they're like, oh yeah, I got this many stars on Amazon, that's more than the iPhone 6. Like totally like obvious, cutting out the competition and putting yourself above everything. And they did everything so right that the commercial became a viral video by itself. And like
Hmm.
that is a company's like that's a company's wet dream.
I knew
Let's
you were
let's
going to
just
say
let's
that.
just call it what it is, right? Like that, you could not have a better option. Like Old Spice just has to be like patting themselves on the back because they're like, yep, they love the viral video and they just keep buying it because they love the commercial.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. If you can turn your ad into, yeah, like Zane was saying, a viral video that people actually want to share, that is amazing. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. So
yeah,
USP. There you go.
cool. Yeah. Then you can also run commercials about, yeah, or you run ads with specific coupons. So, people are interested. Say you can even use remarketing here. So people have already been to your channel and they have seen your videos through your ads. Well, now you can have your ad follow them around. If hey, we just wanted to let you know, use this coupon code to uh, you know, buy the product at a discount or something along those lines. So you can
Right.
really get coupons in front of people who already know what your product is through remarketing.
And for those of you, I mean, I'm sure everybody's at least seen one show on Hulu. A lot of their commercials say, go to our website /Hulu. Like that's their own like conversion tracking. So,
Yeah,
just having that component, even bigger companies are doing that to make sure that they're able to keep track of
definitely.
uh, of their traffic sources. That's another reason to have ad specific coupons.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right. Now, let's say you are a local consultant. Um, Different things you could put on your channel, educational videos about whatever kind of service you offer, or say you're a video marketer and you want to sell ad campaigns or something like that. You can have miniature educational videos about here are the different types of ads. And we're going to teach you all of that. You can use that content. You can't swipe it; you have to teach it yourself. But that's actually common knowledge. So you can talk about like I said, the different types of ads, how they function, how they work, and just get people comfortable with whatever product or service you're offering, so then they can then see it working for them in their business. And you can do some how-to videos. Odds are, most people, even if you give them the how-to video, they're not going to want to do it themselves, and they're going to want to hire somebody to actually manage their ad spend. They have things to do like run their business.
Yeah, which one thing I was just gonna wanted to point out with, especially with how-to videos, and well, also case studies. It's important to point out at the end to go, if this is all too overwhelming for you, just give me a call or send me a message and we'll figure out how I can work for you, right? So, because the end goal is to be the consultant to be hired, or for services to be hired that way. So if you're going to be making the content, understand that your call to action should always be a nice, nice soft little pitch at the end of like, hey, I totally get it. If you feel overwhelmed, that's why I'm a consultant, so you can contact me. But it's always that nice subtle call to action of knowing, oh yeah, okay, this is too much for me. A lot of really great information, but I'd rather just have you do it. End goal met.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You can also throw up case studies. This doesn't have to be a case study of something that you've done necessarily. You can find case studies of say you're doing reputation management or something along those lines. You can have a case study about a large corporation that was failing, and then once they started managing their online reputation, sales went up and they were able to become profitable and make $1 million. Something along those lines. You can find all these case studies. The really cool thing about Google is they publish these case studies. It's part of their advertising. They'll be like, look at all of these people that have used like AuraBrush, like Zane was saying, that is one of their case studies on Think with Google. And you can go check out thinkwithgoogle.com. We'll put a link under this video once it's up in the members area to that. But just thinkwithgoogle.com is the website. And essentially, that has a ton of case studies all about how YouTube video marketing and YouTube ads were used in major corporations. You can just have a little highlight video on that, teaching people about that and opening their eyes up to things like that. One thing that you really should do, though, if you are a consultant, is put yourself out there. You're going to want to have intro videos if you can, just something to let everybody know that, hey, I'm a real person, check me out. Here's a little bit of my story. It might not be your sales video, but it is going to help break down the online wall, I guess, if you will. So a lot of people out there just go to a site and they just see some stock photos and a little bit of info about the company. People don't mind interacting with people. They actually want to know somebody's out there. And a lot of times on the internet, that can be lost. So doing that is going to instantly set yourself apart from other people.
Yeah, and these videos also are meant to introduce your company. So if there is a certain sort of this is really great for the intangibles, right? If you're an attorney, you want to show that you are an expert and you can be trusted. So think about where you are. If you want to, if your office has a very warm, inviting feeling, then in your video of you talking about how awesome you are and how much you can help them, if you want to show the feeling of what it's like in your office and you want that feeling to be very welcoming, then think about things to put in your office that are welcoming. Think about what could happen in like post. You could be like, I want kind of a fuzzy filter, so it's a subtle thing, but they feel more comfortable. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you want to have in the intro videos. You want to have the content that tells people this is who I am, but also in a broader sense, because you have that ability with video. You can just put something in the video and people can't stop staring at it, and then you address it and then they go, oh, okay, I can move on. You can actually use your environment to help you get your point across, right? Like in a way that text can't. So that's also something we'll be talking about in the future as well.
Cool. And along the lines of case studies and things like that, you can use the newsjacking or the tentpole strategy, where you just go find some articles or other videos or something along those lines that is about whatever product or service you have, and maybe some relevant news article from Forbes.com about how video marketing or video is expected to be however many percent of consumer traffic by the year 2017, or whatever you can find. Just go find relevant things like that and talk about them. You can do that over a Hangout. You can just pull the article, like a screenshot of the article up, talk about it, anything like that. Very easy ideas for content right there. And not only content, but content that supports you leading up to the sale. Once again, interviews with people that are successful. I guess I kind of lumped that into case studies. So covered that. Let's say you are offering a service. Some very great videos. So let's go with the HVAC example that Zane and I were actually talking about a little earlier. We could be like how to, do winter maintenance on your furnace. Those could be videos, or how to, summarize your furnace. I don't know. That's not a thing, but
but the reason for this is because having those videos out there, like HVAC repair, those are nice, but there's an even bigger market of people out there that are trying to search for ways to to save money. And if your video talks about how they can save money earlier, then 2 or 3 months from now, when the thing actually does break down, they're like, I know exactly who to call because they helped me with this thing. I'm going to call them right up. Like that's how effective these videos can be. So yes, you want to have those local videos, and again, this is also to the local clients, right? Because you're going to be the local consultants, because you're going to be explaining it to them. But go beyond just the, hey, grab that first page position, because you definitely want that. But grow the brand that you already have. Like if you've got the positioning, then when people aren't in that emergency situation, they can see somebody who's actually willing to help you out, even when it's not going to put money right in your pocket. That gets people to pull money out of their pocket even faster, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
So that's
Um,
how to in that aspect.
yeah,
Sorry, continue.
and those how-tos can just be like how to replace your filters on your furnace or something like that. And a lot of people are going to search for that. And like Zane said, if it does break down the line, cool. But what if they want to, how do I relight the pilot light on whatever? And they find your video, and at the end of it, you're like, here's how you do your whole pilot light. But if you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call. We do free inspections or something like that. They go to light the pilot light and it doesn't work. They're going to call you. So,
Yeah, that's a good point.
um, yeah, and Tom, you are going to want to add city to this, really, or whatever city you would be doing. But that's all in your targeting. Um, but the more I don't know. You can always, if you're getting leads from other cities, you can always sell those leads too and use a call forwarding. You can, apply this system to that where people will pay per lead as well, which is something that I know a lot of people do with ranking videos. You can kind of do the
Yeah.
same thing with a channel.
Well, for sure. Like, I mean, like this is something that, like, since you already got the expert, then you like I would turn back to the client and be like, listen, you're the expert. Who do you like in the area? And then maybe we can work something out. Then another video comes out by that same person, like, oh yeah, so I'm in this area, but if you're in this area, this is who I'd recommend. And automatically that transfer is actually being leveraged. And of
Yeah.
course, you can work out a deal from there. But um, to that end, adding the city, yes, in the title is important, but the fact that you're making the video and you're saying HVAC repair, like that's also really good to have as well, right? So even if you're saying the words generically, you don't have to specifically say HVAC repair in Vancouver in the video. And I'm saying you shouldn't also, like, just saying HVAC repair is enough to get the search engine triggers. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Cool, cool. Some other ideas for content would be like, top 10 fails, successes, or nailed it. Just little funny things that people would like to consume. Educational or preventional videos, like how to prevent your AC from freezing in the summer or something along those lines. Um, always, if you can, throw your USP in there. What makes you different? What makes your company stand out? 24 hours could be something like that, or anything like that. But just you want to point that out. And then one idea for an ad is a video postcard or something like that. You could have a small in-display ad about something with where if the season's changing, it's about time for heaters to start being turned back on. So you just start off, and you can run this to entire cities of Denver, for instance. If you are living, working in Denver or something, you could be like, "Hey, Denver, it's getting cold. It's about time to fire up your furnace. Make sure that you switch out your filters. That's going to make your furnace run longer and save you money in the long run. For more money saving tips, check out our channel and community by clicking this video." And then that drives the traffic back where you have all this other content that people can, like it says here, tips and tricks for saving money. They'll consume things on your channel. And, all of the people that you're driving that way or towards your channel, are in Denver because that's how you had your ads set up. So technically, most of those people will be from Denver. Some people might find your tips, which is great. They'll share your videos. That's just going to make you look better and give you better ranking power. But you're really reaching your target market through these ads, right? All right. Now we will open up for Q&A. I know we took a lot of the questions throughout the course or throughout the training today, but anybody have any questions they want to throw out there? And then after that, we will get to your homework.
Well done, Justin. I don't have the sound icon, but if I could, I would do the round of applause
All
sound effect.
right.
Yay!
You as well. You as well. Cool, cool. Give it just a second here. I'm gonna grab a drink of water actually, and then we will see if any questions come in, and if not, we'll jump on over to the homework.
Excellent. Yeah, while Justin gets his water, I'm getting everything set up for the homework. I'm going to walk you through the steps of what you need to do, and then we're going to use that as a way to just cut out a simple video. Like here's the homework, and if you need to refer back to it,
Yeah.
you have the steps.
So essentially, what we're going to be going through in a second here. Oh wait, here we go. I'll get to that in a second then. All right. Well, Tom says we explained everything very well, so that's cool.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Cool, cool. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump ahead to the homework, and we will let you know what all that is. So it's time to get to the homework. I like GIFs, so you got a GIF. All right. So your homework for this session is basically going to be laying the groundwork, right? So you're going to set up your YouTube channel based on whatever. Wall's not happy with this homework. So you're going to set up your YouTube channel, set up your Google Plus page, get your Google Plus community going. Then we'll set up and link our AdWords. And then kind of, I guess I probably should have put the research products or brainstorm promotional ideas first. Sorry. So obviously, first you're going to need to know what you're selling and what your ideas are. And then once you've got that established, you can go ahead and set up your YouTube, your Google Plus, and your Google Plus community, and link up your AdWords. And for extra credit, go ahead and create a Google Plus event page like you saw, and maybe start sharing that, try and get some people registered. But if not, you could just kind of get your first piece of content on your channel. So then in the members area, once this video is all put in there, we'll get that all out to you. But we're going to give you a homework sheet, and I'll actually email that sheet out to you. But the homework sheet is basically going to be a checklist, and you're going to basically fill in the blanks on a couple of these, like put your YouTube URL in there, your Google Plus URL in there, and all that stuff. You can either share that in the Facebook group if you would like, and everybody can kind of take a look. We can all subscribe, and or whoever wants to, but I'll subscribe to your channel and go ahead and join your community, all that good stuff. But we can give you creative or constructive feedback on that. But ultimately, the reason you're going to be filling this out is so that when we have the one-on-one sessions, Zane and I can just look, jump in, check everything, and make sure it's all optimized, help you, with any tips or tricks or just any suggestions that we have in general. So that's why we're doing it that way. And
yeah, well explained.
Yeah. So
Next
time on Video Traffic Geyser, we're going to talk a little bit about diving into your funnel, or a lot about that actually, and basically the best way to lay all of this out and kind of gear up towards the promotion. Then we're going to talk about the launch process and how you can generate buzz for your product. And we actually did this with the ASM case study where we had some pre-launch ads running where we got people excited about it and kind of got them comfortable with the whole process. So then they would be able to, go through and make the buying decision. Then we'll talk about researching your way to success. That includes all your competition, researching experts in your niche, things like that. And then we will talk about planning out your content and your entire promotion. So that about wraps up this episode of Video Traffic Geyser. And, we are going to jump live in a second here, and Zane's going to run you through the setup process of YouTube, Google Plus, and all of those videos will then be put in the members area as well to help guide you through your homework. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Zane.
Awesome. So while we're doing that, let us know. Did Justin do a good job? Do you feel like your brains are full of information?
Boom, boom,
What screen am
boom.
I showing?
Cool,
Hope
cool.
I'm not
Got it
showing my
on. Cool, cool.
spam-ridden email.
Sweet, sweet. All right. Well, yeah, thanks, guys. And let's see. Wall is asking when the next one is. We were shooting for Thursday, same time. And we will dive into the, and I'll go ahead and mail that link out to everybody, put it in the members area once everything's up there. But yeah, we'll make sure that everybody gets that link. And
Yeah.
yeah, this week while we were shooting for, because this, you know, this basic setup isn't too hard. Um, so it seemed like enough time to run through all that. Uh, and
Yeah.
yeah, so and it'll all be everything's going to be recorded, and your strategy sessions can be used, as you progress through this process. And we have the group and everything where we can keep everybody up to speed. We really just wanted to get everybody all the information as quickly as possible so they could see the whole overall view and really kind of get rolling on this. So
Yeah.
and yeah, same time as it was today. Well, and
And
then
to answer your question, Tom, like when you say would like to do local, how would you present yourself as the go-to guy? That is really easy because no one else is really talking about this. So like you're going to be like the only person that they know about that will actually be able to do it. And I've asked every single company that has ever done any kind of PPC if they do YouTube ads, and they kind of go, well, we're working on that. So like you're already a rare commodity.
cool, cool. Then Valentino's asking real quick, how many different Google Plus pages can one have? We're going to actually kind of dive into this in a second here, but you can create up to, I know it's 50 YouTube channels per Google or Gmail account.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
those can all have they automatically get a Google Plus page associated with them.
Yeah. And yeah, it's the same. Like the same number. You can have 50 YouTube channels, 50 Google Plus pages. Like they're one and the same because one creates the other,
Yep,
right? So can everybody see my screen? Should
I
say
can.
Google with the rotating
Cool,
ballot
cool.
box. All right, cool. Yes, yes. So one thing I actually had this pulled up. Something to like when I said like when you're looking for affiliate products. This like look at people's profiles, and I just looked up Alex Jeffries because he's a pretty well-known marketer. But this is a perfect example. You can see he's made a lot of products. They sound like something people would want to buy. This is again a really good way of determining if you should uh, promote someone's product. Right? Just do a little bit of investigating, and you can do a lot of it here on JBZoo. So those are some of the tabs that I had up and why I had them up. So. All right. The most important part of this process is you need to make sure that you have one Google profile. Everything comes from the Google profile, and yes, even client stuff. Because at the end of the day, you'll be able to transfer the ownership of the Google Plus page, and it's the Google Plus page that controls the YouTube channel. All right. So everything starts with a Google Plus profile. You don't want to create a Google Plus profile for a brand or client because that's not how Google wants it. It's a regular, regular person, right? Like I'm logged in as Zane, me, my personal profile. That is what's going to create the YouTube channel, which automatically creates the Google Plus page. And then we operate the business or the client's business presence through the Google Plus page, which can do everything that a Google Plus profile can do: create communities, share circles, be a part of circles, like everything that a profile can do. It can operate, the business can operate as a presence on Google Plus. So we've got that out of the way. Does that make sense? Because before I move on, I need to make sure that we're on the same page right from the get-go so that everything else from here forward makes sense. So yes, no, 1, 2. All right, makes sense. Good. One more. Can you repeat that last paragraph? Yes. I wasn't reading from a script, but a Google Plus page can operate on Google Plus just like a regular profile can. In fact, most people can't distinguish the difference. Like other end users, just other people on Google Plus, can't really tell the difference between a Google Plus page and a Google Plus profile. Just because pages can do so much that profiles can do, it's hard to distinguish the difference. But from a structural point of view, Google wants you as a human, a person, to have a profile, and then everything else is a page created by the profile. Make more sense? Okay, I'll take this. I'll take that response as a yes. Okay, cool. Tom, I think, has a question for later. We'll get through this homework and maybe we can address it. So I'm logged in as Zane. This is my Google Plus profile, and I'm going to use Google, just straight from Google, and I'm going to click on my little apps box here. This is where everything can stem from, and I'm going to go over to YouTube. Now, I'm on YouTube, and again, this is my personal YouTube channel, but this is, again, where you would create again, a client's channel, because that can be transferred. So I'm going to click on the little icon here, and you can see, like I haven't quite filled my quota of 50 yet, so there's more to go. I'm going to click on this. It says view all for Zane, right? This is my main account. If you can't find this option to look at all of your YouTube channels or to switch channels, this is the URL right here, youtube.com/channel_switcher, and it will bring you to this menu, and it will show you all of the channels that you've created from within your profile, which, again, I've made a lot, even some of them that were just meant for an example channel, kind of like what we're doing right now. So I've done this a time or two. There's a couple of ways to go about doing this. Again, this is just the way that I do it that I think is the most optimal and efficient of all ways, right? So I wouldn't want to challenge anybody on like other ways to do it. This is just my way to do it. So if you can't find the button that says look at all of my channels like I showed you, just go to the URL youtube.com/channel_switcher, and it'll bring you to this menu. All you got to do is click on create a new channel. You get this right here, very, very simple, and you click the box that says I agree to the page terms, because as you now know, your YouTube channel automatically creates the Google Plus page. So this is for any harebrained idea that you get, just like I get all the time, and I just want to run a random test. If it's a product that you think is going to do well, but it's only up for a week, I've made plenty of YouTube channels specifically to be able to dominate that search presence, right? So for totally unrelated, like, never see the product again, I assumed it was going to be bigger and it wasn't, but hey, I still got sales for it the entire time based on this strategy. Okay, so naming your channel, if you want to compete in a space with like a specific product, go for the product name. Always go for the product name, because it makes it easier for when people are doing the searching, investigating products. So I'm just going to go ahead and I don't know, Justin, do we have a channel that we should make, or do you not want to share it? Or I could just write example channel, doesn't matter. Maybe Justin's hiding.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's the whole mute thing. Sorry.
Oh, right.
Yeah, either way. I don't know.
Okay, well, okay, just for the sake of time, sorry. Yeah, I'll just write example channel. Aha. I was just thinking if there was a channel off the top of your head. So I'm just writing example channel 3, but this is going to be the name of your product, the name of your business, the name of your client's business, or whatever you want. It's not really going to be too terrible if you go, hey, you know what? Actually, this channel would be a better channel name. Go ahead and make it. No one's going to slap your wrist, right? So I'm going to select a category. There's no category that's better than another, unless your whatever it is that you're talking about fits, right? So I always choose product or brand, but if you're in arts, entertainment, or sports, do that, because it'll help you with that, right? Again, make sure that this box is checked, and then click done, and just like that, I have now created a brand new YouTube channel has automatically created a Google Plus page. If you are very new to this, I would go ahead and go through a little tutorial, because YouTube's done a pretty decent job. I mean, they could be way better, but they're doing their best to make sure that everything that you do is of the optimal thing. So they have little tutorials, right? So, add some channels, and do some, put in some channel art. I'll go through all of this in session 3. But if you're new to this, go through the tutorial, because YouTube is trying. So give him a high five and go, Zane sent you. Just kidding. So with that, there's the YouTube channel, but we want to go straight from here over to the Google Plus page. And I'll do that by clicking this icon right here and clicking this icon right here. It takes me straight to the Google Plus page, and it has me on the Google Plus page as the Google Plus page. In fact, a lot of times you'll see a little bar that shows up and says, you are the owner of this page, manage as this page, right? So there's all, like, if you forget about a channel and then come back to your own page, it'll remind you, like, hey, guess what? You are an owner of this. That's happened to me a few times before. So just so that you can see this page and so you can get onto Google Plus, the next thing I want to show you is that as the page, you want to come down here, over here to this flyout, and click on Communities. I urge everybody to create a community, simply because the more stuff that you do on Google Plus, the greater the chance that that activity can show up in Google. So even if all you're doing is taking highlight clips or Hangouts or event pages, and you're just posting it on your Google Plus page, you're not adding anything else besides that, it's going to be a good idea. So it's one more place that you'll just remind the general public on Google Plus, like, hey, there's an event over here, or hey, I made a smaller video of a much longer Hangout. You should definitely check it out. And there will be people, just because you're putting in that content, yes, they could go to the YouTube channel, yes, they could go to the Google Plus page, but some people will just consume it because it's in the community. So a lot of SEO benefits, which again, make this decision. This can be like a extra credit thing, right? Like, make a community, but not every single product or promotion needs you to create a community, but there's a lot of advantages to having it. So putting it out there on the table, it's very easy to create. When you come over here and click on community, it takes you here, and you can just search more communities, or you just click on create community, and then you have this option, public or private. Again, for these purposes, like, because you want to have the optimal exposure, you want to make sure that it's public. And what I like to do is I like to say that yes, anyone can ask to join. So it's like having it's half public and half private. So they'll be actually, like, it'll be searchable in the search engines and stuff, but they'll only get a little bit of information. They'll get like maybe the first 4 or 5 posts, and then there'll be a call to action to join. Now, if somebody is going to be interested in a community of mine that I'm just, putting it out there, I want to get them, unconsciously nodding for as early as possible. So it's free, it's public, there's all sorts of great things, but you do need to ask to join. It's just one little thing that gets them going on that yes train of thought. You don't have to do it. That way you can just say it's public to everybody, you can see all the posts, but that's why I choose to say it's public for everybody, but you have to join, right? So that's your call. That's the one weird reason why I do it. So from here, I'm going to call it just example community. And then voila, I have created a community. Oh, okay. Actually, this is one thing that I think is kind of clever of Google Plus, is they say, we found some similar communities that you might like. So maybe instead of creating a community, you just want to join a bunch of these. But I don't. I just want to go ahead and create my own. And now, voila, I have created a community of my own. Now it gives you the option. You can give a little byline. You can pick a photo. This is just a 200 by 200 pixel image that you can put in here. But the title of the community I've seen is helpful, because again, if it's a public community, Google Plus by itself is its own search engine. So if you have a again, a product or a service, if you want to use the title of your company as an advantage, there's like there are predictive searches in Google Plus. So if it's like going back to the example that we were talking about, an HVAC repair community, if someone's on Google Plus and like, oh man, is there something about like I need to search for some information real quick. You can position yourself, your community, your page, everything. If they see more of that in the searches, there you go. So I have seen it work to my advantage, like having a keyword rich title for the community, right? The byline, the tagline, again, that's something that as people see it, there's going to be the title, a tagline, the picture. That's how you want to encourage people to join the community. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click done here. And at this point, you can share it. I don't really like to. I post it to my page publicly, but I don't really have anybody to share it with just yet. And there's lots of ways to generate interest in the community. The one that's just been the most effective is talking about the community in the Hangout content that I either curate or create, right? So the community promotion just takes care of itself because it's mentioned in the discussions and the video content, reminders that a community does exist, and that usually takes care of most of it. Like, I don't have to have a specific promotion on Google Plus to have people join the community because there's so many other ways that I'm promoting it. So this is what it looks like. One other thing that I like to do is the event page, because again, it's one more thing that's put out there and can show up in the Google search engines. And when you create an event through a community, on the event page, it adds an extra little call to action, like it says, this event page was created by this community. So the event page itself, as we pointed out, like a mini registration page, and posts people to post to Google calendars and whatnot. That same page has a call to action to say, hey, go check out the community. If you like this, you'd also like this. So it's a little thing that I picked up after doing this so many times, that if you want to have a little subtle call to action on all of your event pages, create your event page from within your community, which is right here. As soon as you create a community, you automatically get these three categories: all posts, photos, and events. So you click on events, and this is where you create the event that gives you the little call to action on every event page, right? So very quickly, we created the YouTube channel, the Google Plus page, and a Google Plus community, and even an event page. So we went through a lot of tech stuff here very quickly. I want to make sure that we got everything. Is there anything else that you would like me to explain so that we can have it for the recording?
I know there was a good question by, who was it? Tom was saying he has all the car channels. I was wondering
Awesome.
if that's okay.
If that's for me, I say better to ask forgiveness than permission, right? And you may end up having people like come to you in a more positive manner. If I would say if you start doing anything with those, just make sure it's like really nice things about it, because then you'll create interest in, well, maybe this person just wants to talk a lot of really great things about it, and maybe we can work something out. I would proactively make sure that there was good content on it, so that just in case they saw, and I mean, they could send a cease and desist. That's the worst thing that could happen to you, because that's the legal action that's taken. If they don't want you to use it, they'll send you a cease and desist. So unless you've gotten a cease and desist, you're in the clear. But if you're in the clear, then use that to your advantage, and try and get their attention with it, and be like, hey, I just so happen to have this, because I'm thinking ahead and I'm thinking about you. There you go. What do you think, Justin?
Mute. No. Yeah, I mean, proceed at your own caution. That's all I really want to say. I don't know. But like Zane was saying, they could hit you with the cease and desist. So just I don't know. Be careful.
Yeah.
Proceed at your own risk.
So I want to point out, like, the reason why I went through this so fast was also to point out that this is not a tough process. I know it's a lot to take in, but once you got it, then you knock all this stuff out, and then you go back to your client, right? I'm talking about a hypothetical client, but you go back and you're like, all right, cool. I've created your YouTube channel and your Google Plus page and your community, and I've even set up an event that we can say, okay, we've scheduled it for next week. Like, and I do this all the time with people, by the way. Like, I go, okay, I set up this event page and I set it for next Thursday at 7, but I can easily change that. Would you want to do that a different day? And in their head, they're thinking, oh, well, he's already set it up. We should just do something, because that gets the momentum going very quickly. And as far as a client goes, you want to show them how easy it is for them to make good quality content, but only when you're around, kind of thing, right? So setting that up quickly, again, which is why I encourage the event page, like an extra credit thing. Because if you want to act quickly and you want to get your client's attention, then you need to do things like get their attention. So give yourself a reason to point out, like, oh yeah, I scheduled a time we could make some content together. It'd be really quick. I just ask you some simple questions, and this is how we get the event page. And then, oh wow, look at that, we've got content on your YouTube channel already. What keywords did you want to rank for? It makes that conversation very, very easy to have. Okay. And I think Justin's sorry. In my attempt to add value, I tend to go on little rants. So please let me know if this is answering any questions, and if you have any more, because we're starting to
Sorry,
wind down here.
my audio cut out for a second there. I missed kind of a little bit of a chunk. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. No.
You there?
I was talking about how to leverage this as a local consultant,
Oh, cool.
and I got kind of passionate about it and ranted for a little bit, and I was like, oh crap, did I go too long?
Yes. No.
But but that's why Justin's here. He helps put the clutch and the brakes. Like, all right, let's go this way. Right. So.
Cool.
All right. Cool. We're good.
All
Then
right.
anything else that you wanted to add to this? I was just pointing out, like, this can be done very quickly, and there's once it's done. Oh, there we go. That's the last thing that we can close on, right? So as the closing point, I've insisted and shown everybody that you can transfer this to your client, right? So if you've got the client's name on here, you want to make sure that they can get access to it as quickly as possible, and that you're not trying to, like, take anything of theirs. So if you come up and you click on this little icon and you go into settings, click on settings, and right here at the top there is managers. So what needs to happen here is that you, as the technical owner of the page, need to add a manager. So you'd say, okay, give me your Gmail address, and I'm going to send you an invitation to this page, which means that you will have all the control that I have on this. And then in 2 weeks, I can say you go from manager to owner, and that it's all official through Google. They say, okay, now that's the owner. And then as the owner of the page, they now have full control. They can go and change all passwords and stuff and shut you out and all that other kind of stuff, right? It gives them the security that they need, like assurance that they now have control, and now you are the manager of their page, but you set it up for them because you're just that awesome. Make sense?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yes, you could do this with the car channels then. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you can do this with any. That's actually, I'm a manager of that 5 stars for video thing, even though Zane set it up, and we can all jump in and do whatever.
Yeah, that's one thing that's pretty cool, is that Google takes into account, like, your profile, so you don't have to create any new passwords or anything like that. When you make someone a manager, then you can log into the Google Plus page and start controlling it and do all sorts of back-end changes through the same password that you use for your own personal profile, right? Google takes care of all of that. That's the awesome administrative tool side of Google Plus that I'm so excited about.
Yeah. One, also you can also go into Google Plus and create. Say you do want to make a Gmail just for this page, you can do that as well.
Yeah.
So you can. It's personally, I like it much better keeping it with managers and all that. It's much easier to you logged into one thing, be able to access all of your stuff. But you can always go in there and give it its own Gmail account. So.
Mhm. Yeah. In fact, actually, I've never done that before.
Oh, really?
I've never really felt the need to do it.
I have to do it for a few of my or a few pieces of software that I use. I had to get it its own Gmail account because they don't work with the Google account creator. You can
Oh,
only
okay.
put in like a certain login, and so
Interesting.
I had to make that just so I could link my YouTube channel with um, whatever piece of software or IFTTT is actually what it was. But
Oh, okay. No, interesting. I should look into that more.
yeah,
Valentino has another question. He says, before I make them a manager, is there any personal information of the clients I would need? Only that you have to get the Gmail address that they would be using for Google Plus,
their
right? So
personal Gmail. No.
I would just say, yeah, send me. I would tell them to send me the Gmail address that they use most often, and that is more, the highest probability that that's what they also use for Google Plus. Even if they don't use Google Plus, if they're logged into Gmail, they're pretty much logged into Google Plus as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So get that information so that when you get to this menu here for managers and you click add managers, you can put their email address in there, and then Google Plus will send them an invitation to become the manager, right? So that's all you need, and once they accept it, then it starts the 2 week clock of like, okay, they're the manager, and then after 2 weeks, I don't know why Google insists that you wait 2 weeks, but you got to wait 2 weeks, and then you have the option to switch that person. You have to go into the same menu. If you go into the same manager menu in 2 weeks and say, okay, this person is now from manager to owner, and then it switches your roles. You go from owner to manager, and they go from manager to owner.
Cool,
So
cool.
can I start promoting their business without them knowing about their channel? Yeah. In fact, that could be one of those great foot in the door strategies is you just get it going, and then you're like, hey, look at this traffic. Like, has your phone been blowing up? That's me. Look at all the cool stuff I did. You
Nice.
can totally go through that angle too.
For sure. Yeah, Tom was asking if that works for, or if the Google thing works for both YouTube and Google Plus. It does. So you could, once you go to YouTube, it'll automatically be whatever your default Gmail account that you're logged into is,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
can
And
switch from there.
yeah. Yeah. So when you transfer that ownership, or like, I mean, pretty much when you're both managers, you both have control, right? It's just the officialness that gives them the warm fuzzies that you're not going to take their name and do terrible things with it, right? They have ultimate control. But the Google Plus page is what controls the YouTube channel, right? So it's the one ring to rule them all. Yeah, the Google Plus page controls the YouTube channel, the login access. So if you can get into the Google Plus page, you can get into the YouTube channel. So.
Cool.
And Valentino says, "Wow, yeah, again, there's so much of this ad inventory that's just not being spoken for that you can go into numerous industries with pretty much the same plan of exactly what you're talking about, Valentino, and say, I've created this YouTube channel for this business, and you throw a bunch of traffic at it, or you get a good funnel going, and then you can turn around and be like, yeah, I'm the reason why." You're getting so many more calls. Let's talk because I've done some stuff for you, and I can take this to your competition if you want. Like if you don't want this, I can easily change it and rebrand it and puts you in ultimate control. Yeah, you can make them pay rent however you want to do it. Like you are a rare commodity. You like, it's not that can I make them pay rent? It's that you can do so much more. It's not just pinned to one thing. You don't have to you don't have to come at it from a super creative angle. You can say, I do this thing that no one else can do, so you don't have to use gimmicky things. I'm not saying the paying rent thing is a gimmicky thing, but just the fact that you do it is so rare that they're just like, okay, keep doing more things like this for me. Makes the sale of getting the client much easier. Got it. Okay, good. All right, 2 hours, not too bad. Lots of
Yeah, yeah,
content, right?
yeah. And we'll be sure to chop this up, and I'll put the entire recording up for everybody if they want to go through that. Definitely give us a day or two at least to chop this up because it's um, well, it's not.
Yeah, it's 2 hours, and
Yeah,
yeah, we intentionally put the homework at the end so we could easily chop off the homework and say, okay, so for those of you who want to go through uh, the the webinar, later, but want to get started on the homework, here's how you do the homework and what we want to do. Because if anything, it gets you